Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you in this video how to get this really fun mix and match back to school nail art with 5 different designs. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the thumb here. You can see I've already done one coat of a light blue polish, so I'm going to come in and do a second coat of that same color polish to create the base color for this design. And the design on this nail is going to be a pair of scissors cutting along a dotted line. So I'm going to take a black striper and start outlining a really basic outline of a pair of scissors, starting with the finger holes here. And don't be discouraged if it doesn't start out looking like a pair of scissors, because it can take some finagling to get this to look just right. So I'm going to draw the second finger hole here. And to just kind of get a really basic and crude outline of a pair of scissors, I'm going to do an X or a crisscross here to do the blade part of the scissors. And then basically I'll just come back through and fill in some parts, make some parts thicker, thinner, and then typically I'll use a dotting tool dipped in the blue polish to really make the finger holes look a lot more clean cut. So just do a dot of blue polish in the middle of each hole like so. So now we're going to take the dotting tool again and make our dotted line. You could do this in any color you want. You could do a dashed line too if you like. It's all up to you. So I'm just kind of going in a random pattern around my nail. You can do as many or as few of these as you like, but do make sure that you go in front of the open scissors to make it look like you'd be cutting along the line. So I'm just going to go all the way down my nail in kind of a random pattern until I hit the end here. And then there you have it. You've already done the first nail of this design. So the next nail we're going to use white as the base color, so I'm going to do 2 coats of a white polish, just like so. And the design on this one is going to be a piece of notebook paper, so I'm going to use a light blue polish again to draw some horizontal lines across the nail to make the lines on the paper. Now if you have a blue striper, this would definitely be a great place to use it. Unfortunately, I don't have a blue one quite the right color, so I'm just going to use this tiny little paintbrush, which works just fine. It just takes a little extra time. So just go ahead and do that all the way down your nail. You can make as many or as few of these as you want. And don't worry if the lines aren't perfectly clean cut around the edges. You can always use a white striper and go in between them to kind of make the edges more harsh and clean cut. So just go all the way down the nail doing like so. And then to really make this look like a piece of notebook paper, we're going to use a red striper and add just one line down the left side of the nail. And then you could leave it like this, just leave it a blank piece of paper. You could put 3 black dots along the left side to make it look like it's been hole punched for a 3-ring binder. I'm just going to do an A+ because that's the first thing I could think of, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this before. But you could just do doodles, initials, you could leave it blank, whatever you like, whatever suits you. So now you've done the second design in this set. So for the next nail, we're again going to use a white base color, so I'll do 2 coats of a white polish. And the design on this nail is going to be a red apple, because what's more back to schoolish than the apple? So basically I'm just going to do 2 little humps toward the bottom of my nail here to do the top of the apple. You can make this cover as much or as little of your nail as you'd like. And then you're just going to want to fill it in at the bottom. And then after I did this one, I decided I wanted the apple to cover a little bit more of the nail, so obviously that's an easy fix. You can just go back through and make the humps a little bit higher. And so now you have the top of an apple on your nail. So the next step here is I'm going to use the tiny dotting tool and brown polish to make a little stem on the apple. And then I'm also going to use the same dotting tool to make a green leaf. First outline, and then I'll use it to fill it in just like so. And this design is so easy and fun. I feel like this could look good on all of your nails. So to make it a little bit more 3-dimensional, I'm going to use a white striper and just add 1 curved line and a dot on one side of the apple to make it look a little bit more shiny and 3-dimensional. Now the fourth nail here is going to be a little different than the other ones. This is going to be a chalkboard nail, so I'm going to use black as my base color. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a matte top coat. This will really give the blackboard look. And after this you could leave it blank, like a blank clean slate blackboard. You could do doodles, your initials, whatever you like. I'm just going to do a simple math equation on mine. And don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, because obviously when people write on chalkboards their handwriting doesn't look perfect either. So I'm just going to do 1 + 1 = 2, but like I said, you can do whatever you want. And there you've completed the 4th design in this set. So for the final design on the pinky here, we're again going to use a white base color. So I'll do 2 coats of that. And the design on this one is going to be books on a bookshelf. So what I'm going to do is use a black striper to draw some thin rectangles. You want to do them of different heights. I do some tall, some short, some in between. So just draw some different shaped rectangles here. And usually I can fit about 4 of them on my nail, just like so. So after you've done the outlines, we're going to come back through and fill them in with color. Now you can choose any colors you want. I'm just going to do some red, blue, I'll do a green one. And if you don't have stripers, that's fine. You can just use the regular nail polish brush sideways like I'm doing here. Just make sure you have a very little bit of polish on there and it should work just fine. So we'll do the last one in yellow, and there you have them all colored in. Now to make them a little bit more realistic and make them look like textbooks, I'm going to add some horizontal lines on the spine of the books. You can just do one at the top and one at the bottom, or you could do 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. It's really up to you, just kind of so they're not all the same and not so monotonous like a real textbook would be. So there, just go through and do it like that, and now you've done the final nail. So then we're going to go ahead and do a top coat on all of these to kind of seal in this design and give it more longevity. Of course, you don't want to use a top coat on the blackboard nail because that'll kind of ruin the effect that we were going for on that one. So that's it. You've created this really fun back-to-school nail art look. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and good luck!